Hey, what's up? I'm Jason Mraz, and you're watching The Ultimate Guitar Show with Marc Seal.
We have an awesome show for you today. Jason Mraz is here, and he's going to play 2 or 3 songs for you that are incredible. We're going to have an interview, talk about a little bit of everything from his gear to his songs to his songwriting, and you're going to really enjoy that.
Well, it takes a crane to build a crane. It takes 2 floors to make a story. It takes an egg to make a hen. It takes a hen to make an egg. There is no end to what I'm saying. It takes a thought to make a word. And it takes some words to make an action. And it takes some work to make it work. It takes some good to make it hurt. And it takes some bad for satisfaction. La 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 la, life it is wonderful. La 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 la, life it goes full circle. La 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 la, life you are wonderful. La 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 la. It takes a night to make it dawn. And it takes a day to make you yawn, brother. And it takes some old to make you young. It takes some cold to know the sun. It takes the one to have the other. And it takes no time to fall in love. But it takes you years to know what the love is. And it takes some fear before I trust. And it takes some tears to make it rust. But it takes the rust to have it polished. Ah, la 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 la, life you are wonderful. Ah, la 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 la, life you go full circle. Ah, la 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 la, life you are wonderful. Ah, la 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 la. It takes some silence to make sound. And it takes a loss before you found it. And it takes a road to go nowhere. And it takes a toll to show you care. It takes a hole to see the mountain. Ah, la 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 la, life you are wonderful. Ah, la 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 la, life you go full circle. Ah, la 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 la, life you are wonderful. Ah, la 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 la, life is so full of love, 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 la la la, life you're wonderful. Ah, la 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 la, life is meaningful. Hello, love, you're wonderful. Ah, la la la. Oh, it is so wonderful. And it is wonderful.
Sitting on the set with Jason Mraz. So stoked you can make it out, man. It's good to see you.
Hey, thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I get a lot of emails all the time from people that watch the show and all that. And usually one of the main questions, I'm sure you get it all the time, is about influences.
Okay.
So where does it go back for you? What were your influences?
From where I can remember, my parents listened to a lot of rhythm and blues, a lot of Motown. My mom, she was more on the pop and the crooners side of things, everything from Nat King Cole up to Celine Dion. Wow. I myself, you know, I started to get into everything from metal to hip hop through my high school years, and then in my college years it was more fusion acts like Miles Davis to Dave Matthews Band. And it was through Dave Matthews Band and that sort of new generation of singer-songwriters that I sort of found the guitar, because up until then I was just singing and listening.
Nice. Was it a challenge to learn how to integrate singing? Because I know you do, one thing that was very impressive watching the performance is how little you look at your hands. And even as a guitar player for me, I still look at my hands quite a bit. And you really do a good job of finding your location.
I peek. I have several moments where I go back and take a look at the fretboard here. But yeah, it was challenging, and it still is, Every now and then I stumble upon a new riff, and I just have to play it, and I play it, and I play it. And I just chant and make sounds until I can feel comfortable doing both. Right. And then what I try to do is separate the two and see if I can make some challenging melody to counteract the riff.
As far as touring and playing, what do you do to prepare for your shows? What advice can you give our audience, for preparing to do what you do?
Well, I at least go into every show with a song bank or a song list. I tend not to make a set list because I feel like that's a strict guideline. And what if my audience really isn't feeling it? I want to be able to change that. So I go in with just a song list, so I know what songs I want to play that night. And I, of course, real preparation is all, proper sleep, proper food before you play, tea, do your warm-ups, vocally and, your fingers, and I stretch, I do everything I can. But I always leave a good amount of room that's not prepared, so that when I get out there on stage, it's as fresh to me as it is the audience. I don't know what's going to happen. And I use a little bit of communication with the crowd to figure out what songs they want to hear and what energy I want to take the night, yeah.
So it leaves a lot of room for spontaneity, improvisation.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's key.
Yeah, because then at the end of a night that's completely improvised pretty much, I feel like I've created something new rather than just play the same show.
So if somebody came to a concert the night before, they could actually see you 2 or 3 nights in a row.
Exactly.
And it's not going to be that cookie cutter.
Exactly.
That's
and even if some of the songs are the same from that song list, it's still going to be done in a different way,
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
The boy's gone now. The boy's gone home. The boy's gone now. The boy's gone home. What will happen to a face in the crowd when it finally gets too crowded? What will happen to the origins of sound after all the sounds have sounded? Well, I hope I never have to see that day, but by God I know it's headed our way. So I better be happy now, 'cause the boy's going home. The boy's gone home. What becomes of a day for those who rage against it? Who will sum up the phrase for all left standing round in it? Well, I suppose we'll all make our judgmental calls. We will march to the fall, and we better be happy now, 'cause we'll all go home. We'll all go home. Be so happy with the way you are. Just be happy that you made it this far. Go on, be happy now. Please be happy now, because you see that this is something else, and it's alright. You see that this is it's something else, and it's alright. This is this is this is something else. Oh, this is all. This is all. This is something else. Well, I tried to live my life and I'm gonna live it so well. When it's over, is it heaven, is it hell? I better be happy now, that no one can tell me, 'cause nobody knows. I'm gonna be happy with the way that I am. I'm gonna be happy with all that I stand for. I'm gonna be happy now, 'cause the boy's going home. The boy's gone home. Yeah, the boys, he's gone home. Yeah, the boys, he's gone home. Yeah, the boy's gone home. Yeah, the boy's gone home.
As far as your guitars, people also, there's a lot of gear junkies out there that watch the show.
Sure.
So what do you take on the road with you as far as your guitars?
On the road, I've always taken a variety of Taylor guitars out there on the road with me. I started, the first guitar I ever had was a 612, and I took that out for years until I started to, check out other numbers. And I moved up to the 714. I've just been playing the 714s for ages now, and then I took a couple of T5s out on the road, so I always have the two T5s. I got two 714s. I got two 612s now. And then my dad found this guitar. I don't take this on the road, but this has become one of my primary recording guitars.
It sounds unbelievable. Why don't you tell them about it? That's
from what I
incredible.
understand, they only made about a dozen of them. It's an old Taylor J15, and I think maybe they were trying to make a jazz guitar, some kind of interesting jumbo guitar.
Yeah.
I don't even know, but it was found in Mechanicsville, Virginia, where I'm from. My dad found it in a little mom and pop guitar shop. And I just think it's weird that if they created that small of amount, that it ended up in my hometown. I think it was meant to be. So my dad found it. He's like, I know you got a lot of guitars, son, but you don't have any from your dad.
Nice.
And I was like, that is awesome. So I took it back to Taylor here, and they were like, wow, we haven't seen this in ages, and got him to fix it up for me, and it's just been playing great. It's so warm, and I'd like to take it on the road, but every time I come home from the road, I'm sending guitars back to Taylor because I have a tendency to play them percussively or get in arguments during sound check and drop them by accident.
Yeah, that's a trick because I don't think I've ever seen a Taylor with those inlays either. So that's a trick.
There's
Very
little
cool.
ovals.
Well, the thing that impressed me with it when you first pulled out the case, you handed it to me, right? I just played for a second. It's the warmest, roundest thing I've heard on a acoustic guitar. I mean,
I know, it's
maybe ever.
so
I mean, it just
great.
sounds incredible.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, and it lends itself well to your style. Let's talk about some of the songs you performed.
Okay.
The first song, Pretty Mellow, you start with a little chord.
Yeah.
Does this tend to sound a lot better when you're playing more quietly on it, or do you notice that even when you bang away on it, it still keeps it's all the way through?
Even when I bang away on it, that's what I love about this guitar. Like, I tend to play with my fingers, my fingernails, really, to just try to keep it percussive. And I've noticed that even the louder you get on this particular guitar, the prettier it sounds.
How long have you had it?
I think this was a holiday gift from my dad maybe 2 years ago. I think late 2003, 2004.
So did we hear this on your last album?
It wasn't on my last album. I'm going to say 2004 then, because we had just finished making Mr. A to Z, and then I think that's when I received it, and I started doing all the recordings with it then. So it'll definitely be heard on the new album.
That's what I was going to say. And what's the new album? What's the story with that? What are you going to do on there? Anything different from the past albums?
Yeah, it's funny because I started here in San Diego as an acoustic act in a coffee shop, just playing a guitar and playing with a percussionist. And then I got signed, and all the records I put out since then have been these pop rock albums, And so I'm finally working on my first official acoustic album, You know, so it's going to be just raw, simple ingredients, you know, so.
Are you doing your own background vocals as well, or do you bring someone in to do that?
I have done them on all the other records because I really like the way that sounds when you're layering all those pop fluff, you know. But my percussionist, Toco Rivera, he's such an amazing singer, so I really hope to capture his vocals on this record.
Nice. So if you take this particular album out on the road, will it be just you and him, like the old days? Or?
It probably will be he and I for a lot of the cities, but it depends on what the songs call for. You know, I do think if a song calls for strings, I'm going to bring in strings or piano and even light drums. Yeah. But I do want to stay away from as many electric instruments as possible. You know, and just keep it raw.
Do you have an idea when it'll be out?
I have no idea when it'll be out. I'm thinking late 2007, because I'm just now in the middle of writing it. Probably start recording in January, but
now, does that mean you'll be taking next summer off of playing, or will you still play while you're recording? Do you do both, or do you isolate yourself?
I have to play. I have to play. You know, I'll if I do a week or 2 weeks of writing, I have to go out and find somewhere to play, whether it's a coffee shop in San Diego or sometimes I'll go out and do a college gig. You know, and because I need to be reminded that I have an act or that I do play out. Otherwise, my whole style will change, and I'll start living in my head, and I don't really know what my songs are for. Right. And I think I want my songs to be shared, you know. And if I don't share them, I tend to just start writing them about my own psychosis or something.
Yeah, that's what happens. I hear you on that one.
Yeah.
As far as the lyrics, where do you draw your inspiration? Is it, you know, daily activities or relationships? A lot of it, to me, when I was listening to what I heard today, sounded more relationship stuff and more personal. It sounds very personal.
Absolutely, too. Personal stuff. A lot of it's like coming of age. I always feel like every year I feel like I'm a new person, and so I use songs to document my changes and my growth. And in every relationship I've ever been in, whether it's, you know, with a girlfriend or a family member, you know, when I start an album, I always write down a long list of names and then try to write a song for each person.
Ah, that's very cool.
Because within every relationship, there's a story there, and I know how it ends or where it left off, so I don't have to spend too much time making things up.
Very cool. And as far as, okay, you said you started as a singer. How long ago did you start playing guitar? Or
I started playing when I was about 18. Is when I was living in New York City, and my roommate had a guitar. And so that's where I started to really spend a lot of time with it. And I just turned 29, so it's been 10 years of living with the instrument. And it isn't until now that I'm starting to feel confident, like even confident to come on this show.
You play great. What else I was going to ask you is, where did you learn all that you learned? Is it just, did you just pick it up? Did you ever sit and actually study the guitar?
Never picked it up and studied it. You know, there's been a number of things that I ordered thinking I'm going to learn, or a number of people I've talked to that said, well, I'll go and learn from them. And I just, you know, I kept getting caught up in the career and traveling and this and that, and I said, well, whatever I'm doing is working, you know. And then plus being on the road solid for the last 3 years, and putting a band together. There was another guitar player in that band, and I would then learn to play less, you know, in the band, and I started to pay more attention to how the instrument fits in to the whole.
Sounds great. I was in Austin this last summer for the Summer NAMM show, and in the hotel, you were on 24/7.
Oh, right.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Something
playing
about
The Life Is Wonderful, the opening track I did here.
Yeah, you're doing that, and then something about the piano that was going on tour, and you signed it and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's funny because back then I didn't know you were coming on the show, but every time I flipped through the channel, and every time, seriously, every time I saw it, I get sucked back in and watch it again because I thought there were such interesting things there, and I thought it was very cool how much you've integrated, because you were putting a little piano in there and just playing guitar, and so you've really got a lot with just the guitar and the vocal, you know, and the piano when you do the piano and vocal. And just really appreciate you coming down and being on the show for everyone here. And it just sounds great. I really appreciate your style too. You do a great job.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm learning. You know, each day is a gift.
Right on, man. Well, you guys, you definitely got to check out more of Jason's stuff. His website is jasonmraz.com. Watch for tour dates, new albums coming out, and hit iTunes, man. Go check out his stuff, or if you still buy CDs, go do that. But Jason, thank you so much for being out,
thanks,
man.
Brother.
Really appreciate it.
My
and
pleasure.
I'm sure we'll see you back here another day.
So after the all of everything that came and went, I care enough to still be singing of the bitter end and broken arrows. I told you I don't, but but I am only trying to be the best with my attempt to cure the rest. Assured I'll aim to ease the plural hurts of the words. Reverse psychology, that's easier said and easier than done. Please don't dare to tell her what I've become. Please don't mention all the attention I have drawn. Please don't bother, 'cause she'll feel guilty when I'm gone. Because
This program has been made available by the generous support of Musicians Institute, the world's most innovative school of contemporary music.
But I'm crazy when I'm next to her. And it's amazing how she's so